Shalom, my friend. You are sitting there with a chest full of stress and a bank account that feels like proof of everything you still do not understand. You keep asking why life is always almost working, almost opening, almost changing, while people with less talent, less vision, and less discipline seem to walk straight into rooms you cannot even reach. You think the issue is luck. You think it is branding, timing, networking, or some missing business trick. But I am telling you something far deeper. You have a leak. Not just a money leak, a biological leak, a spiritual leak. You keep forgetting that food is not only fuel, it is a message, it is a signal, it is a carrier of energy. In Torah wisdom, the kitchen is not just a place where meals are made, it is an altar. In the old temple, the quality of the offering shaped the atmosphere of the holy place. Today your body is the temple, and your kitchen is the altar where you either strengthen your calling or quietly damage your future. You keep moving through life like a container for random energy, taking in decay, dullness, and disorder through what you eat, then acting shocked when your business feels stuck and your mind feels heavy. God is not blocking your increase. You are breaking your own vessel. You are feeding yourself things that disconnect you from sharpness, peace, and flow. In this message I am done being soft. I am going to speak to you like someone who wants real results. Stay with me all the way through, because the people who leave early are usually the same people who stay broke. Listen carefully. This may sound intense, but it can change how you see your table, your body, and your future forever. The law is simple. What enters your blood enters your thinking. What enters your thinking enters your decisions. And what enters your decisions eventually becomes your income, your friendships, your habits, and the quality of your entire life. When you eat something, you are not only chewing texture and taste, you are taking in a history. You are taking in an atmosphere. You are taking in a pattern. The energy of what you consume does not stop at your mouth. It becomes part of your mood, your pace, your discipline, your patience, and your ability to notice the open doors placed in front of you. If you keep filling your body with dull energy, you will start producing dull ideas. If you take in chaotic fuel, you will live in a chaotic loop. You will connect with low-level people, make low-level choices, and spend years chasing tiny gains while wondering why bigger opportunities never stay in your hands. People with wealth understand something that most people ignore. Clarity is a form of capital. A clear mind sees patterns faster. A clean body endures pressure better. A steady inner state makes stronger moves. That is why this subject matters. Not because food is magic, and not because one meal changes your life overnight, but because daily intake builds daily reality. This is why you need a ruthless audit, not a cute checklist, a real one, a hard one, a personal one. Ask yourself what your meals are teaching your body every day. Ask yourself what your habits are repeating in your blood, and ask yourself this before we go further. If your plate is building your future, is it building a kingdom or a cage? Keep watching, because the first thing you must cut out is probably closer to you than you want to admit. The first food you need to stop eating is scavenger energy. I am talking about bottom-feeding creatures, and anything that carries the pattern of surviving on what is thrown away. In the laws of kashrut, there is a deep separation between what is clean and what is not. People think this is only ritual, only religion, only tradition. It is more than that. It is training in discernment. A scavenger lives off leftovers, waste, and decay. It feeds on what is already broken down. It lives low, thinks low, and survives on what others reject. So what happens when that pattern becomes part of your blood? You begin to move like that pattern. You start chasing scraps in business. You accept poor deals. You attract draining clients. You settle for fast wins instead of building strong systems. You become obsessed with loopholes, shortcuts, and quick bites of success, because your body is rehearsing the logic of survival instead of the rhythm of dominion. You may not believe that. Fine. But your beliefs do not cancel patterns. If you keep putting the energy of the bottom into your body, do not be shocked when your life keeps pulling toward the bottom. You say you want to rise like an eagle, but you keep feeding yourself the mindset of a creature that crawls around collecting waste. That contradiction will always cost you. Start eating in a way that points upward. Choose food that feels clean, simple, fresh, and alive. Choose what reflects order, not debris. Choose what supports dignity, not desperation. Look at your plate honestly. Is it sending your body a message of strength or a message of dependence? If the answer hurts, good. Pain is often the first sign that truth has finally entered the room, and we are not done. The second food is even more common, and it may be draining you every single day. The second thing you must stop eating is dead processed debris. I mean the factory-made stuff, the chemical-loaded stuff, the shiny packaged food that can sit on a shelf forever like it has no relationship with real life at all. In spiritual language, life carries movement, freshness, and light. Dead processed food carries the opposite. It is preserved, hardened, flattened, and stripped of living force. It may fill your stomach, but it does not really build you. It may excite your tongue, but it dulls your fire. And then you wonder why you feel heavy after lunch, why you need caffeine just to sound awake, why your body moves like it is dragging a chain, and why your mind gets cloudy right when you need focus the most. It is not only tiredness, it is a daily negotiation with lifeless fuel. You are asking a high-value engine to run on low-grade sludge. Then you act surprised when performance drops. People who protect their edge do not play with that. They understand that a strong body is not a luxury, it is a strategy. Your intuition works better when your system is cleaner. Your self-control gets stronger when your blood is not swinging all over the place. Your creative power rises when your body is not busy fighting the consequences of junk. Wealth loves vitality. Opportunity often comes wearing the clothes of extra effort, sharper timing, and one more hour of clean focus. But if your body feels like a storage room for additives and dead matter, you will miss what healthier, clearer people catch. This is your reminder to stop calling convenience wisdom. Stop calling habit identity. Stop calling processed comfort a reward. If this is hitting you, stay here, because the next part gets even more personal, and yes, it may offend the part of you that likes excuses. We are now deep into the audit, and this is the moment where many people start reaching for an excuse. They say, come on, food is just food. I work hard, I show up, I push through. No, working hard with a neglected vessel is like trying to win a race with sand in the engine. You may move for a while, but the breakdown is already in motion. Burnout does not always arrive like a thunderstorm. Sometimes it comes one dead meal at a time, one dull morning at a time, one foggy decision at a time. That is how people lose their edge without even noticing it. They do not collapse in one day. They slowly become average, and average is expensive. You keep leaking force through your habits, then looking for motivation videos to fix what your daily choices keep damaging. Motivation cannot carry what your system cannot support. This is why a full reconstruction matters, not a tiny improvement, not a 2-day cleanse, a real reset. You have to identify every leak, the food, the routines, the space around you, the people at your table, the emotional atmosphere in your home. Because if you clean up your diet but keep surrounding yourself with draining energy, you will still feel stuck. If you improve your meals but keep living in noise, resentment, and chaos, you will still sabotage progress. A person who wants more has to become someone who can hold more. That means thinking differently, eating differently, and protecting peace like it is part of the business plan, because it is. If this feels intense, good, it should. Easy language has kept too many people asleep. And the next point may be the sharpest one of all, because now we are going to talk about the hands that touch your food before it touches you. Stay with me. This is where many people lose more than they know. The third food you need to stop eating is food handled by resentment, bitterness, and inner collapse. This is where the issue becomes very real. The consciousness of the person preparing your meal matters more than most people are willing to admit. Energy transfers through attention, intention, and atmosphere. If someone is cooking in rage, despair, jealousy, or deep frustration, that emotional charge enters the meal in ways your body still has to process. You may call that symbolic. Fine. But you have felt it before. Some meals leave you calm, grounded, and strong. Others leave you irritated, restless, and off-center. That difference is not always about ingredients. Sometimes it is about the spirit in the room. Think about how many people eat fast food made by workers who hate the job, hate the shift, hate the pressure, and feel trapped in a cycle they cannot stand. You are not just buying speed. You may also be taking in agitation, hurry, and low-trust energy. Then later you feel snappy, cynical, and strangely empty, and you think that is just normal life. No, it is contamination by repetition. It is daily exposure to someone else's emotional overflow. People at the highest levels often guard who handles their food, Not because they are trying to look important, but because they understand that fuel should be prepared with dignity, care, and peace. The meal matters, but so does the spirit around the meal. If love is absent from the table, the body notices. If the kitchen is full of tension, the nervous system notices. If food is made with honor, patience, and presence, the body notices that too. So ask yourself something uncomfortable. Who is preparing your food? In what mood? In what environment? With what mindset? Because if your meal is carrying stress before you even touch it, you may be feeding yourself more than calories, and that can cost you more than money. This is also why peace in the home matters. If a table is full of contempt, sarcasm, silent anger, and wounded pride, do not expect that food to feel like strength when it enters the body. A meal prepared in sorrow can carry heaviness. A meal prepared in panic can sharpen inner panic. A meal made with care can steady the heart. This is not about superstition. It is about atmosphere. It is about what your nervous system absorbs while eating, and what your body starts linking to nourishment. You cannot fill your life with conflict, then expect your dinner to restore you like medicine. You cannot bring shouting, disrespect, and emotional warfare into the home, then wonder why you feel weak when it is time to lead. A peaceful table is not a luxury item for rich people. It is part of what helps people become stable, disciplined, and trustworthy enough to hold growth. If you come home full of rage and spread that energy over the people around you, then sit down and eat what was made under that cloud. Do not pretend your body does not register it. It does. If you want different results, honor the table, slow down before the meal, speak with decency, remove chaos from the atmosphere as much as you can, cook with intention, bless the food if that is your way. Eat like this moment matters because it does. Your meals are not supposed to feel like accidental interruptions between tasks. They are part of how your body learns whether life is safe, ordered, and worth showing up for. And when that inner order grows, your outer decisions improve. You become more patient in negotiation, more grounded under pressure, and less likely to make foolish moves for quick relief. Keep listening, because there is another leak hiding in plain sight, and a lot of people open that door every day without even noticing it. Let us talk about attention in the kitchen and at the table. Let us talk about the eye on your food. When you eat in an atmosphere full of envy, competition, mockery, or silent hunger from other people, it changes the experience of the meal. Many traditions understood this, long before modern language tried to explain stress and social pressure. If every meal becomes a performance, if every plate becomes content, if every bite becomes something you show off to stir reactions, then your food is no longer private nourishment. It becomes public theater. And public theater invites strange energy. You post the expensive meal. You want admiration. You want attention. You want strangers to feel something when they see what you have. But what are you also inviting? Comparison, envy, hidden anger, judgments. All of that becomes part of the atmosphere around your nourishment. Then you wonder why the beautiful meal still leaves you unsettled. Not everything blessed should be displayed. Not everything personal should become performance. There is power in quiet eating. There is power in peace. There is power in a meal that is treated like a sacred pause instead of a stage prop for approval. A wise person eats with intention. A disciplined person knows that nourishment is a private exchange between body, breath, gratitude, and the Creator. But many people trade that for quick validation. They swap peace for visibility. They trade depth for reaction. And then they keep wondering why the inner life feels noisy even when the outside looks polished. So stop turning every meal into an announcement. Stop feeding yourself under the pressure of other people's eyes. Stop inviting random energy into moments that should restore you. Protect your table. Protect your attention. Protect the emotional field around your food. If this feels small, think again. Small leaks sink large ships. And the next part is where all of this connects to the bigger pattern of your life. Here is the hard truth. You may be a person with real potential, but you are living like someone random. You say you are meant for more, yet you keep blending into habits that pull you downward. You eat what everyone eats. You accept the pace everyone accepts. You sit at tables full of noise, distraction, and cheap energy, then wonder why your vision keeps losing power. A high calling cannot keep running through a damaged system forever. If the wire is rusted, the current gets weaker. If the vessel is full of leaks, the blessing does not stay. That is why separation matters. Not arrogance, not ego. Separation, discernment, boundaries. You need to learn what belongs in your home and what does not. What belongs in your kitchen and what does not. Who belongs at your table and who does not. Every serious transformation begins with cleaner borders. You do not get clarity by accident. You build it, you guard it, you repeat it. That means removing the scavenger pattern, cutting the processed deadness, and refusing the atmosphere of resentment. It also means watching what conversations fill your meals, what media fills your kitchen, and what emotional weather keeps cycling through your home. The table is not just where you eat, it is where your habits rehearse your future. If the table is disorder, the mind drifts toward disorder. If the table is honor, rhythm, and peace, the mind learns to move with more strength. This is bigger than diet. It is a full life pattern. That is why the results can show up in places far beyond the kitchen. Sharper judgment, stronger patience, better instincts, more self-respect, better deals, less chaos, less craving, less desperation. And when desperation leaves, strategy finally has room to breathe. Stay with me now, because the final stretch is where the warning becomes a choice, and the choice becomes a path. You do not want money that arrives wrapped in stress, sickness, exhaustion, and constant inner noise. You want increase that comes with steadiness. You want growth that your body can carry. You want success that does not poison your peace. That kind of life asks for a cleaner vessel. A contaminated vessel can hold contaminated outcomes, but it struggles to hold blessed ones for long. So do not keep treating this like a side issue. Your food is not the whole story, but it is part of the story every single day. And daily things shape destiny more than dramatic moments do. That is why you need a method, a blueprint, a disciplined reconstruction of what enters your body, your home, and your atmosphere, not because a product or a speech will save you, but because truth without practice changes nothing. If you hear this and do nothing, then you have chosen comfort over correction. You have chosen habit over upgrade. You have chosen the leak over the repair, and life will honor that choice. It always does. So decide now. Audit the kitchen. Remove what makes you heavy. Remove what trains you to think like a collector of scraps. Remove what teaches your body to survive instead of build. Start choosing meals that support life, peace, focus, and dignity. Start treating nourishment like part of your strategy, not a random afterthought between tasks. And yes, if this message is stirring you, stay until the end. Do not click away just because it got personal. The people who transform are usually the people who stay in the room long enough for truth to finish speaking. We are almost there. The last part is simple, sharp, and meant to leave no confusion at all. You have two paths in front of you. You can keep eating scavenger energy, dead processed matter, and food soaked in resentment, and you can keep wondering why your thoughts stay dull, your confidence stays fragile, and your opportunities keep slipping through your hands. Or you can take the path of separation. You can clear the debris from your kitchen. You can protect the atmosphere around your table. You can rebuild your blood, your rhythm, your focus, and your sense of inner authority, because that is what this is really about, authority. A person who wants to lead cannot keep living in constant contamination. A person who wants to build cannot keep feeding himself confusion. A person who wants to hold more must become stronger at the level of daily intake. The miracle you are waiting for may not fall from the sky the way you imagined. It may arrive through cleaner decisions repeated long enough to change your mind, your mood, your momentum, and your results. If the blood is burdened, the vision gets blurry. If the body is cleaner, the mind gets brighter. When the mind gets brighter, strategy gets better. When strategy gets better, life changes. So stop putting trash into a vessel that was designed for purpose. Stop eating like a person who expects little from life. Start eating like someone preparing to build something real. And let this line stay with you. What you repeat at the altar of your kitchen will echo in the rooms of your future. If that line hit you, then do not forget it tomorrow. Apply it, test it, live it. Because information without action is just another form of delay, and delay has stolen enough from you already. So here is the final call. Clear the kitchen, cut the low-value fuel, protect the hands that prepare your meals, protect the mood around the table. Stop chasing convenience when it keeps costing you clarity. Stop calling random eating freedom when it keeps producing weakness. Stop treating your body like a trash bin and start treating it like a vessel for vision. The world is noisy, fast, and full of traps that ask you to trade long-term strength for short-term comfort. Do not make that trade anymore. Real builders do not touch everything. Real builders do not eat from every hand. Real builders do not let every mood enter their system. They choose carefully, because they understand that quality compounds. So let this be the day you stop acting careless with your own life. Let this be the day you close the leak. Let this be the day you stop feeding patterns that keep you small. Your table matters. Your blood matters. Your atmosphere matters. Your daily choices matter more than your dramatic promises. If you have listened this far, prove that you are not just collecting intense speeches while repeating the same old habits. Make the change. Guard the altar. Respect the vessel. Build with discipline. And if you want a line to carry with you after this message ends, carry this one. My altar is clean, my vessel is guarded, and my future will not be fed by chaos. Hold that line. Live that line. Repeat that line when temptation calls you back into old patterns. You have been warned. You have been challenged. Now the only question left is whether you will act like someone chosen for more, or stay loyal to the very habits that have kept your life leaking. Shalom.